This is the Nintendo Players Podcast, episode 16. This is a special episode for Mental Health Awareness Week. Today I've got a panel with me, so I'll be discussing Mental Health Awareness Week with Dottie and Leon. So welcome, Dottie and Leon. Dottie, would you like to say who you are?
Hi, I'm Dottie. I'm from South London and I'm on the Nintendo Players UK social media team.
And Leon?
Hi, I'm Leon. I'm currently from Crawley. I am one of the social media managers for Nintendo Players UK.
And I'm Jen. I am co-founder of Nintendo North Wales and co-head admin of Nintendo Players UK. So let's get started. So obviously Mental Health Awareness Week is all about movement this year. And that's right up my street because my story is getting fit by playing video games because I was too anxious to go to the gym. So I was going to go through some of the ways that games can help us stay active or become active in the first place. So we've got a list to kind of work through. So we can start with Just Dance, because Just Dance was our collaboration with Ubisoft on a couple of occasions over the years. And we've raised money for Alzheimer's UK. We've done national competitions where our community members have gone to like Birmingham for a central final. And in our events in Nintendo North Wales, we have that one person who always plays Just Dance at every single event. What are your experiences on Just Dance, Dottie?
I think the last time I played Just Dance was maybe back in the Wii era. So it's a very long time ago. So maybe I'm not the best person to speak about it, but when I was more able-bodied, I did have a lot of fun playing Just Dance. I haven't tried it recently as I have fibromyalgia as a main disability and other things. So maybe I'm not best placed to speak about Just Dance, but I do know it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can see it's a lot of fun by when my member brings up Just Dance, like the younger members all join them. You got the old ones groaning in the background, but you know, the young ones jump up straight away and join in, and it's great to see them having fun. And Rasputin always comes up. That's the most noted one. Leon, what's your take on Just Dance?
So, admittedly, I've not played it for a while, longer than I'd like to admit, but I do think it's incredible fun. Also, slight claim to fame, because of the whole collaboration we did with Ubisoft, Alzheimer's Research, the Just Dance tournament. I am in one of the little online trailers, which is just like a little thing I like to show people sometimes, just my little claim to fame. But from what I remember, Just Dance is a lot of fun. Often when I was younger, back in the Wii U days, because that's getting on now.
Yeah.
I just sort of go through it all just on my own a lot. Like just it's a good way to waste a bit of time, but while wasting time, also getting a bit active as well. And I remember like I'd sweat a lot after about, I think sometimes I'd play up to about 2-3 hours at a time. So it's like, oh, I can't breathe. I'm so unhealthy, sort of thing. But yeah, a lot of fun. And then it's obviously a lot of fun to it gets people together, moving about as well. So perfect for when you've got some family down for Easter, even though that's already gone now. So like, what else is coming up? I guess summer barbecues. Summer barbecues are a good one as well. Like especially with the Switch, just bring the Switch out. Hopefully, actually no, that's a horrible idea. I did that once. Just Dance in portable mode outside, and it was with me, my brother, and my sister-in-law. And we could barely see it. So recommended to play it inside so you don't have sun glare on the screen, preferably on a big screen, so
Well,
everyone can
my
watch.
best place to play fitness games is on the big TV docked in the living room.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I have been known to play it in portable in my studio because my husband's using the dock to play Splatoon usually. So I might do a bit of yoga in my studio. But anyway, from Just Dance, we got Ring Fit Adventure, which came out in October 2019. And that was a pivot point for my life because I'd hit rock bottom, and Ring Fit Adventure actually probably saved my life and changed my life for the better, because I ended up losing 2 stone because of Ring Fit Adventure and finding
Wow.
my body confidence. So you've both had a go at Ring Fit Adventure at least. How did you find the experience of Ring Fit Adventure?
Leon, do you want to go first or shall I?
You can go first again.
I really liked the easier movements to Ring Fit, so maybe like the jogging and some of the like jumping movements in it. There were some movements that I struggled with, and I think there was a point when I was trying to lose weight, like yourself, Jen, because I was struggling with, body confidence, and I've got like I've previously said, I've got chronic pain, so it's hard for me to do movement, so I can try and get out and do things. But yeah, Ring Fit was great for what I was able to do it with, and then I kind of got like a shoulder injury from it. So I've had to like scroll it back a little bit to some of the lower movements, like I said, like just the running or things like that. It's fun and I love it, and I love the the motivation I get from the game, because it's obviously an active game,
Yeah.
so it makes you want to play more,
I
and that's
like
my
that
problem.
I like that it was designed for longer term fitness as well, because I saw
Yeah.
that and it gave me a chance to be consistent with it, which is how I managed to
Mm.
achieve the results. But I remember when I first started playing, I didn't realize the importance of warming up and cooling down until I injured my calf muscle. I pulled it
Yeah.
because I hadn't cooled down correctly, and that was lesson
Oh
learned.
gosh.
Always warm up, always cool down after a workout,
And
Mm.
always hydrate.
and always hydrate.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
Ring Fit Adventure is going to be 5 this year, and I'm
Is
still
it
playing
5
it.
already?
It'll be 5 in October this year. Yeah.
Wow.
It
So
only, honestly feels like only about maybe a year ago since we had that weird advert. It's something new. It's like, what the hell are you doing, Nintendo? And then it's like, oh, it's a new fitness game. Just quickly, Dottie, did you use any of the accessibility features from Ring Fit Adventure? Because I know it had like different settings, so you could make certain movements easier or just block out some of the
I
movements.
think I blocked some of the movements out, and I think I put everything to easy, as easy as possible. And for me, it was okay, but I felt like it possibly could have gone down even lower
Okay.
for like people with disabilities or chronic health conditions like fatigue issues and blah blah blah. But it's difficult, because I understand when you're creating games, you want to be able to challenge players to do their best and to be consistent. And I think not always people think about the people that struggle with movement in these types of
Yeah,
games.
definitely.
fair enough.
So like, one
Yeah.
thing that I did thought was quite good. I think every couple of days it would sort of come up to you and when you launch it, just being like, "Are you okay with the current um, settings for the ring? Did you want to up them or lower them? Oh, you're doing
Yeah,
quite good. Maybe you can challenge yourself a bit." So it does give that little bit of positive reinforcement, I guess, to an extent.
absolutely.
Yeah, I started at level 10, I think, when I first did it, and by the end I was at level 25 because I was watching a YouTube person who instructed like custom sets for Ring Fit Adventure once you'd completed adventure mode. And he said like level 25 was the optimum, so I stuck at level 25. And then started doing just custom lists at level 30 because I'd run out of adventure mode. I'd 100%ed everything, but I wanted to keep playing it. But I've just reset it to start from day 1, level 1, a couple of days ago, because I remembered that being consistent on Ring Fit lost me the weight, and I need to lose the weight again for an event I'm going to next month. So wish me luck on that one.
Oh, you've got this.
So leading on from Ring Fit Adventure, I did run out of kind of Ring Fit Adventure to play eventually, but there was various iterations of Fitness Boxing that came out. So there's Fitness Boxing 1, Fitness Boxing 2, and Fitness Boxing Fist of the North Star, which was the most recent one that I played maybe 1 or 2 years ago. Well, boxing is it gets you moving, but it's very isolated to specific muscle training. So I didn't really keep doing that consistently long term because I wasn't benefiting the rest of my body. I was only turning my arms. Have either of you played any of the boxing games?
I
Sadly not. Sorry,
played.
Leon.
Oh, that's all right. I played the second one a bit for back when I was still reviewing games. Um, I thought it was enjoyable, but it wasn't something that I persevered with. I'm
Yeah.
just quickly going back to Ring Fit. Like, I have an issue with any sort of fitness sort of game where I'll do it for a couple days and then I'll just sort of forget about it. Same with the gym as well. As
Yeah,
well,
I was
like
gonna say that's very common.
I've got a membership at the local gym,
Mm.
and I've not used that membership since summer 2022. The only reason I
Here's
still
your
have it
kit.
is
Get on it again.
yeah. The only reason I still have it, I think, and not cancelled it, is simply because I got that membership when I was cabin crew, so I
Yeah.
still get that cabin crew discount, which is quite a good discount actually. So it's like
Fair
I
enough.
don't want to lose that. Maybe I will go sometime, but like with Ring Fit Adventure, I actually found myself keeping at it for more days than other titles like Fitness Boxing 2. Like Fitness Boxing 2, I more or less didn't really play it much after I published my review. Still quite fun. Some of the covers are a bit weird though.
Yeah. Well, I like the music that came with the boxing games, but ultimately I did get bored after a month or two of playing them. So
Yeah.
moving on, we had Switch Sports, which was mentioned as a Get Active game. Now, Switch Sports reminds me of Wii Sports in the fact that you play tennis, you wreck your arms, but everything else is kind of like feeble as effort goes. Have either of you played Switch Sports, and what do you make of that?
Yeah, I've played a bit of it. I definitely like that they introduced the online mode.
Yeah.
And you know what? Bowling Battle Royale or whatever they call it was quite fun. It's like quite simple but quite fun. And that's not because I got first place the first time I logged on to the online for it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I did that when we first played it because hardly anybody else was on it. So I got first place on everything and then slowly sank as more people joined it. So Knockout Home Fitness was basically boxing with a bit of extension to what you can do on it. So I'll breeze past that. But Zumba Burn It Up was a good one because I picked that up, I think, before lockdown. It's a shame there's not more Zumba variations out there, but Zumba Burn It Up has got some good playlists on it. You can choose from low intensity to high intensity. I haven't actually done number one low intensity because my brain thinks that's too easy, so I automatically go for the higher ones because I actually do want to burn it up, as it were. What do you think of Zumba on gaming?
I've never
I think
tried
it
Zumba, so I'm staying out of that one.
I've never personally tried it, but I think it's a good idea for people that maybe want to push themselves a bit more physically. I am challenged in the rhythm and coordination department,
Oh
so
yeah.
it's definitely not for me.
Well, I've got no
Oh,
sense of rhythm, but I like a good Zumba workout. So as far as my husband's concerned, I'm just flapping about for a bit, but I'm trying to do Zumba,
I still
in my
think
mind.
I still think it's hilarious that you say you have no sense of rhythm, yet you teach piano as well.
Shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, so Zumba it's my dance workout, so I do put it categorically as a dance because I track all my fitnesses on my smartwatch. So it's a good way of varying what I'm doing fitness wise because I like to mix it up a bit these days. Next, we go on to Pokemon Go and Pikmin Bloom. Now, they were a good one for the traditional type of gamer who was into Pokemon and was used to sitting in their room on their own playing Pokemon, could now go out and meet other people in person to collect Pokemon. And the novelty of that was trending in summer 2016 when I happened to not have a job. I'd only just set up as a piano teacher and I didn't have my own car until later that year. So I had a lodger over that summer who happened to drive and love Pokemon. So while my husband was working, me and the lodger used to go to the local town where all the gyms were, so we could battle Pokemon with all the crowds and stuff. And my favourite memory was actually a year later in July 2017 when there was a massive event in Chester. And I remember this, I've got this vivid memory of people crowding around a roundabout. You know, you don't usually see people on a roundabout. They were all crowding on a roundabout trying to catch a Gyarados or something. It was bizarre, but it's the memories that stick in your mind. What are your experiences with Pokemon Go? Did you have similar?
With me, I didn't necessarily really get into Pokemon Go. Like, I'm sort of a lightweight Pokemon fan, so I like it, but it's not something I go out my way for. However, even though I didn't properly get into the big buzz with Pokemon Go, I do feel that it made a positive impact on my mental health during my third year of university and sort of created a sort of bonding between me and the housemates that I had there, because my first 2 years of uni, they're kind of not the best because, well, it was all right, but where I was living, my housemates then were all right, but they were all on the same course. I was on a different course. We all had different interests. So I just sort of felt isolated quite a lot. Whereas in my third year, I moved in with some people who were geeky like me. I'd say even more geeky than me, but that is absolutely fine. And we would often, I remember it was around probably springtime maybe, I noticed like a lot of them were going on Pokemon Go. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna get in on this as well a bit. So quite often we just go out for a bit, like maybe down the road, walk around the neighborhood. Liz would maybe like drive us along if it was raining, doing our little raids and things like that. So it was a really nice little bonding experience without having to get into depth with the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that Pokemon Go was a little bit more friendly for those with maybe physical disabilities.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still play Pokemon Go to this day. So
Cool.
when Pokemon Go first came out, I was mostly just using a walking stick and I would do shorter distances with walking. Now I kind of struggle with that. I switch between a walking stick and a rollator. So holding a phone and using a rollator is kind of very hard because you need both of your hands.
Yeah.
So on like there are days when my partner will go, right, we're going to go to this area that has quite a few gyms, so you can just kind of maybe sit down and we can do the gyms and you can walk around a little bit and do some movement. And that for me is a great motivator to get out on sunny days, because I'm a person who started playing Pokemon back when Pokemon Red and Blue came out on the Game Boy.
Yeah, same.
Showing my age a little bit there.
Same.
But I do think Pokemon Go is a great game. It's helped me meet people in my local community. It's done a lot of great things for my mental health.
Brilliant. Yeah. So the only
I will
reason I
say,
stopped playing Pokemon Go was because there was no even Pokestops within a 30-minute walk of me. So I got fed up because when I couldn't go out, I couldn't do anything. So I switched to Pikmin Bloom because the idea of planting random flowers wherever you go was quite appealing. And within my reach of my phone from my home space, I could reach 2 of the giant mushroom things. So I could
nice.
swap between them. But people are like, oh, well, the Pokestop's been added now and stuff. I was like, well, I'm not going back to it now because I can only do Gen 1 Pokemon. After Gen 1, I'm completely lost. So it's not worth it anymore for me.
I would say for me, both Pokemon Go and New Pokemon Snap was a nice match together because I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's a game about photography. So, but New Pokemon Snap definitely inspired me to like go out a bit, do a bit more photography because I do love doing a bit of photography. And then if you go on to Pokemon Go, you've got the camera feature, the AR camera feature, where you can place Pokemon in your world, which is really cute. And I use that a bit for Pikmin Bloom as well. So when I take the dog for a walk, I just use Pikmin Bloom or Monster Hunter now is probably the more relevant one, I suppose, that's going on. Didn't really play much of Monster Hunter now, but when I was on holiday, I did sort of like go on little walks around the block to do to fight some monsters. But I've not really played much of that.
But yeah, we got quite a few Pokemon things because we got Pokemon Go, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Sleep. I believe that would help with the self-care side of things, so making sure you get enough sleep. Dottie,
After being active.
what was
Yeah,
your thoughts on
absolutely.
Pokemon Sleep?
I've used Pokemon Sleep a few times. I like being able to track my sleep and the type of sleep that I have, whether it's restorative or not. And I find that it kind of helps me have a better routine when it comes to sleeping and maybe better sleep hygiene. You can set your bedtime, you can connect to friends, so you can challenge each other for like who's having better sleep. You can collect Pokemon in it as well. I think after you've been doing all of these like exercise type games, Pokemon Sleep is a great way to wind down in an evening.
Fair enough. So we've got one game left on the list, and that's Taiko no Tatsujin. And that's one that I was always jealous that people had because when it came out, I missed it and then couldn't get a hold of it after that. But I love the idea that you're actually playing a drum. And that's one way of staying active, even if you can't go out in the moving sense, you can still use your arms, hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. I have Taiko no Tatsujin and I really enjoy it because I get to move my arms. Again, I struggle with rhythm and coordination, so I am not an amazing player, but I do really enjoy it and it helps keep my arms moving a bit when maybe on days that I can't move around walking or going outside. And it makes me feel more accomplished that I can do something rather than nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
So we've got all these fitness games, and to round it off now, well, I got fit through video games in the first place, but I mentioned having body confidence from that. I'd never had body confidence before, and I finally had body confidence. So I'm now able to actually get out there. I still won't do like classes and stuff. I won't go to the gym, but it's not a fear thing now. It's just I don't need the gym because I've got Ring Fit Adventure at home. I've got Just Dance. I've got all these plethora of games. I don't need the gym. But what I do enjoy is going out for walks in nature. So I actually lead the local networking scene where I go on walks to meet new people and we go for coffee, we go for lunch. You know, there's the social aspect in that too. But I also do park run. So my goal for this year is to get to my 50th park run. But I started that just before lockdown after I'd got my body confidence from playing Ring Fit Adventure. So not only was Ring Fit Adventure life-changing, it gave me the confidence to go out and do the things that I wish I could have done in the first place. So it's amazing what being active can do if you well, consistency is key, of course. So once you start, you need to keep going. And the more consistent you are, the better the results you'll get in the end. But you've got to be patient because it's not going to happen overnight. So for Mental Health Awareness Week, we encourage you to get moving in whatever way you see fit, whether that's going for a walk, doing park run. You can walk park run, by the way, or getting into your favorite video game. So if you haven't tried any of the aforementioned video games, why not look them up and try them out? Have you got any final words to say, Leon?
I just want to say, like, it's definitely worth trying out any sort of fitness or any game which gets you moving, because I find that even so sometimes I'll have a day where I'm in a bit of a slump and it's just like I don't really want to do anything, and I sort of get that thought paralysis, if anyone knows what that feels like. You just stare into space. But like actually being able to be active in a place you feel comfortable, i.e. your own home, and it's actually fun rather than just running on a treadmill or on a one of the exercise bikes with TV. Yeah, exactly. Like turning fitness into an RPG or getting a score or something like that. Like one thing I loved, I'm going off off on a little bit of a tangent, but back when the Xbox One first released with Connect, an app which I used quite a bit was Xbox Fitness. So it had like these exercise videos, but it wasn't just exercise videos. It used Connect to track your movement, and then based on how you move, will give you a score. Obviously, this is a much more intense game than, or app, I should say, than other titles you might find on Nintendo consoles, but there is a great variety of games to get you active.
Yeah, there's plenty of options there. Dottie, have you got any final words you'd like to say before we close?
No, but I'm going to get ready to go out and play Pokemon Go because the weather is absolutely stunning in London today.
Definitely make the most of it. Cool.
Yeah.
I need to go and plant some flowers for Pikmin Bloom. I haven't been on it for ages. Maybe you've inspired me to go out again. Anyway, thanks for discussing getting active through Mental Health Awareness Week with me today. I hope you've enjoyed it.
It was a fun discussion.
It's a lovely discussion.
Thank you.